I'm back. Quick heads up. I know the videos I said I was leaving and I'm already back. There was an issue. They were supposed to go up a week before. It didn't happen, so let's just continue on. So, to that, I have a question. How do you like heists? And for my Team 4-star fans out there who get that reference, kudos. For those who don't, watch them. They're pretty good. So, Ocean's 8. The female reboot of Ocean's 11. Much in the same vein that Ghostbusters 2016 was a female reboot of Ghostbusters the original. However, unlike Ghostbusters the original, where that movie was placated with nothing but sexist comments from both the director, the cast, and basically everyone around them, not so much from the actual fanbase they claimed were doing that, though granted there were some, I'm not going to pretend there weren't. This one's a bit more subdued, though they do have a quick jab at men in the movie, for one reason I don't understand, but, meh, you get over it. Which is very contradictory to things that happen later in the movie. Because Ocean's 8 isn't really Ocean's 8. It's Ocean's... depends on what you want to call it. You can either call it 7 or 9. Reason behind that? There's only 7 of them until the end, and the only reason there's an 8th member is because they magically appear because, oh, I knew this was happening all along, so I was working with you guys, but you didn't know I was working with you, but you did know I was working with you. What? Which, granted, I give props, actually makes sense because, oh my god. Ocean's 11, and I'm sorry I have to do comparisons, but when you do a reboot like this, you have to. Ocean's 11, everybody in that film seemed competent. Even the two dumb brothers knew exactly what they were doing. They were vehicle men, pure and simple. But you know what? They did their job, and they did it well, and they knew what the hell they were doing. This? No. These people... they don't mesh. They don't gel. And even when they come all together at the end, there's not really that much of a raw moment. You know, like watching the plan unfold, you've been seeing it build, you've been seeing them having their setbacks and moving along. Like, once again in 11. So, they're trying to, blow the power out. The power company does it by accident, so they have to revamp it. So what do? They think, they come up with a plan, they have to do a mini heist, events happen, and there's consequences. This one, they're trying to steal a necklace that has a magic lock on it, apparently, that you have to magnetize and revert and reshoot. So, that's a thing. But you know how they fix it? Oh, hold on, let me call my sister. Yeah, we got it fixed. No tension, no gravitas. And that's the problem. In 11, they were going up against a casino owner who owned 3 casinos. So trying to rub 3 things at once is tough, let alone a casino. When's the last time you heard that actually happen? But he was also like basically a mafia don. You don't mess with this guy. And here, the biggest problem is we don't want to go to jail. Which, fair enough, no one wants to go to jail. But there's no, real sense of threat. No sense of urgency. No sense of, here's this person we're up against, we gotta take them out. No, in this one, it's, here's this guy that pissed off Danny's sister because he legitimately betrayed her and made her go to jail for 5 years. No problem there. But it's just a revenge on him, but it's not really getting revenge on him. It's framing him for a crime he didn't commit and making him go to jail, which anybody and any defense attorney could possibly get this guy off with the stuff that has happened. Nowhere was he anywhere close to the event of this happening. No way could he actually be tied to this, and even the evidence they try to set up against him is circumstantial at best. But that's just one of the problems. Another one is just, this movie does not know what it wants to be. Is it a heist movie? Is it a chick-style flick? Girl power movie? Is it just a budding comedy? I don't know what it is. Because there was comedy in the original Oceans. I'm not going to say there wasn't. But it seems spontaneous, like the 2 idiot brothers acting like 2 idiot brothers. It makes sense. Or, Ruben basically going, if you ever ask me that question again, I'll kill you. Because he was a professional. Ask a professional if he's ready. But, yeah, that's just that. Not so much of the... oh, it was Saul. Sorry, Saul, not Ruben. Though Ruben is in this movie. He's one of the 2 cameos in it. Which also brings me to this, why it's called Ocean's 9. Because even though they're doing this whole big score, they get assistance from the original cast. One of them in particular. And he does a lot of the work. I'm like, they do some work. But when it comes down to the one who has to do the dirty deed, he's the one doing it. So why is he not even remotely mentioned in this at all? And I know why, but it's just kind of false advertisement. And if you're going to say this person was part of it from the get-go and that she's a member of the 8, Why isn't he part of this, even though he was from the get-go as well, and technically would make it 9? Because even in 13, I do believe, no, it was in 12, they bring in, I believe, Danny's sister to back them up. So it's not like you can't have a mixed-gender team. But that's just really my nitpicking, because all in all, compared to Ghostbusters 2016 was a hot piece of garbage that I really can't stand with a fiery passion. This one's just lukewarm. I mean, there's no overly insultiveness to men. There's no underhanded tactics. I mean, yeah, most of the men in this movie are kind of idiotic and bumbling to a degree, but it's not as over the top and in your face as, say, Ghostbusters was. It's more subdued. So, there's that. And, I mean, like I said, there was some moments in this movie that made me laugh. The whole chuckle thing. But that's not something that I would say would make me, bust out laughing. So, to that, it is better than the Ghostbusters 2016 again. Is this one you have to see in theaters? No, it'll be on TNT or something. Though they might have to censor some of the art because they are robbing from the Met. And, yeah, there's some nudity in it. Last thing I'll say about this, and this is a negative, not for the actresses who legitimately were trying their roles. The characters in this aren't as likable. In fact, some of them are downright just despicable people. Danny's sister. And I know Danny Ocean was a con man, don't get me wrong. But he seemed to have a con man who made people happy. Like, he had his informants, he had his friends, he had security guys who he knew for and he paid them well, he knew their families, he knew strippers. Stay with me. He knew strippers and their moms and, their whole situation. He made sure they were paid for. Like, he knew everybody, and he basically made sure he was friends with everybody. This time, though, Danny's sister is just not there. She's just stealing all over the place, getting people into trouble, running up on illegitimate claims. You got the sense that the 11 originally were banded together against a common enemy. Here, it just seems they're banded against just money. It takes away kind of the heat, takes away kind of the gravitas of the situation. So when the time comes for them to do the grand plan and they pull it off, there's no real big sting. There's no, we're going to meet outside the fountains while Frank Sinatra plays in the background and it's awe-inspiring and it's great. There's none of that here. They got like a girl party at the apartment loft thing they have. I don't know what the hell that thing was. It looked like a warehouse. But then it doesn't end there. It continues on with this heist/frame job that massively takes you away from the movie. It seems like, okay, here's the heist, it's done. We need to stop. I mean, give me credit in some regard. I at least tell you when this is over before I start talking about, trailers and all that stuff. Not happening this time, but I at least give you a warning. The movie doesn't give you a warning, it just expects you to, okay, you came here for this, you're done, but you still gotta hang around for this because we're not done yet. And you can clearly tell where they originally wanted Danny to be in this movie and that whole debacle. I'm not going to bring that up because I don't have enough time for it. So, there's that. Is this, like I said, is this worth seeing in theaters? No. Is it as bad as some people are making it out to be? Kinda, but it's not like outright rage bad. It's just, okay, this is a thing, I don't like it, and really it's not that greatly put together, but meh. If you enjoy the movie, fine for yourself. It'll be on TNT one of these days, I guarantee it. You might have like an Ocean's Marathon, or TBS, I could see picking it up. Maybe even Showtime, because it is, girl power and all that stuff. But, yeah. So I am back, and as usual when I come back from my trips, I try to play catch-up. So I got one more movie before Incredibles comes out on Friday. And this is one I'm actually looking forward to going to see. Even though it has the lowest rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but considering this one's at a 71%, I'm curious to see how it all goes. Hotel Artemis. Good or bad, it looks like there's going to be some stuff being shot up, blown up, and stabbed, which should be a lot of fun, to say the least. Anyway, guys, I'm back, and here's a lot more videos. As always, I'm Kevin Riley, signing off, and I'll see you all next time. Later.